of the day in connection with the formal opening ceremony of the free interactive English forum out of syllabus of our school. It indeed helps and encourages us to open up in public too. Let's begin the program with a prayer. I invite Priya Sridhi of 8th K to say prayer.
Oh God, we thank thee for the night and for the pleasant morning light, for the food and loving care, and all the maker words of fair. Help us to do the things we should, to be to others kind and good. In all we do at work or play, to be the on and help to do.
Thank you, Dia. I invite Abhiram of 8H to extend welcome to the session.
Good afternoon, all. It's with great pleasure and pride I find myself a part of Outsource Syllabus, the ambitious initiative of Government Higher Secondary School, Kokkallur, with a practical focus on helping students to use English in real life rather than answering to textbook questions. The prized presence of chief invitees, Dr. S. Susan Deborah, our chief guest, who is an assistant professor in the Department of English, MES College of Arts and Commerce, Zuari Nagar, Goa, has happily consented to be with us. Dr. Premanand ME, a popular teacher of English language and literature at St. Joseph College, Devagiri, and Team English, GHSS Kokkallur, add flavor to the function. On this occasion, I extend my soulful welcome to you all on behalf of the English Club of our school.
Okay, with pleasure immeasurable, I call upon Professor Dr. Premanand ME, Department of Language and Literature, St. Joseph College, Devli, who has offered to inaugurate the program.
Thank you, Riona, and welcome to all the students of GHSS Kokkallur. It's always a wonderful experience and a pleasure to come and address you all, because this is one place where I know that you are really learning English. With Balan sir as the team, as your team leader, he always gives different activities, and he tries to encourage you to go further into the learning of English. And this is something which not many teachers really do in their schools and colleges. Most of the teachers, English teachers, do teach English, of course, but at the same time, that love for the language, trying to inculcate this love by transmitting it to you and encouraging you to go forward with learning the language, is something unique that I have found in Balan sir, and he practices what he teaches. So I'm very happy that such a program has been organized, and that this sort of out of syllabus is going to continue, so that you will be able to learn more and more of everyday English. And today, with a wonderful personality as the chief guest, I'm sure that you children will be able to interact much better and let's say get a more flavorful English language. So thank you very much, and I'm very pleased to inaugurate this function. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time with us. Now it's time for interactions with our guest of honor of the day. It's none other than Dr. S. Susan Deborah, Assistant Professor English, MES College of Arts and Commerce, Goa. With extreme happiness, may I request Madam to interact with our English Club members. Madam?
Thank you, Riona. And I should acknowledge Balan sir for graciously inviting me. Balan sir and I haven't met in person. We have interacted only through WhatsApp. So that is, given these days and time, I think this is the best platform we can interact in. And thank you, Premanand sir. Premanand sir, it's wonderful to share space with you, because when I did my refresher in Calicut University, you were one of the resource persons. So I never thought that I would be meeting you over here, sharing space with you. So it's an honor and a privilege. And it's wonderful to interact with students, because we all deal with college students, and college students, they are very different when you teach literature and language to them. But school, I think the energy and the curiosity is wonderful. So I'm very happy to be here. And please start asking me whatever questions and we can start interacting. Thank you for having me here in this forum. And I hope that we can together do something better.
So,
Okay, students, first of all, introduce yourself, who you are, and ask whatever questions out of curiosity, as we have got a guest of honor from outside Kerala. Of course, we'll have a lot of questions to ask. And first of all, you introduce yourself, then start asking questions. It's a free forum. There is no pre-planned one, because just like life, there is nothing planned. Even though we plan something, just opposite happens. Similarly, anything happens here, as you ask, she might be addressing quite with pleasure, as she handles children. That's the reason why, as she handles with students at college level, there may be some artificiality. Here, everything is there, very, very pleasing, because out of curiosity, as you are children, you may have a lot of questions to ask. On that way, you can go ahead with your questions. You can ask question. You can ask question. Whatever you feel like asking to madam, just a phone today.
Ma'am, I am the student of class.
Can I please request everyone to mute your phones? And your phone, Adityan, is not is muted. Can you please switch it on?
Ma'am, my name is Aditya.
Okay.
ആദ്യത്തെ തുടങ്ങി ഞാൻ പോയിക്കിട്ടോതാ തുടങ്ങി.
Hello, everybody. All other participants, students, please note it. Your mic is not muted. Mute your mic, unmute whenever you feel like, because unmindfully you are speaking to some other thing, some other business you are dealing with at home. It shouldn't be a clash with the ongoing program. Okay. And if you are listening properly to this one, keep the camera doesn't mean mic, mute it. And only if you want to speak something to madam, you can unmute it. Please comply.
Ma'am, my question is, how is the lifestyle of Goa?
What is the lifestyle of Goa? Okay, Goa comprises of, it comprises of Christians, Muslims, Hindu, and the Hindu population is more than the Christian population. But Shabna, yes, thank you. Yeah, what happens is everyone associates Goa with predominantly Christian background. But if you see, the population of Hindus is more in Goa. But since the Portuguese were here in Goa, it almost always reflects as a Catholic place. So the culture is both. You have Roman Catholics, you have Hindus, and you have Muslims. But you have a lot of churches and temples, and everyone eats fish here. They eat fish and beef and pork. Of course, the Hindus don't eat pork and beef. They eat only fish. Otherwise, I think it's the usual. You have rice and you have fish curry, and that's the food. And for breakfast they have pav, and they have a form of bread. And yeah, and they like to, generally Goan Christians are associated with being very happy-go-lucky people. They take life very easily as it comes, whereas the Hindus are a little bit stricter and that. And there are many beaches here, and a large population of the people are fishermen. It's a small state. It's the smallest state of India, and it's a nice place because it seems less crowded, and the roads are always empty. So these are some of the overall descriptions of Goa. Anything else you want to know, Adityan?
What is the attraction of Goa? Attraction.
Ma'am, your mic is mute.
Yes, I just saw that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what happens is Goa has a lot of beaches. So Goa is a very popular tourist place, and many tourists come here from all over India and also outside of India. So people that generally like to be there in the beaches, and the food. People love the food here. You get a variety of seafood, and of course alcohol is there. So all these are the attractions of Goa. So people come here for the beaches, the food, and the drinks.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Can you
Yes,
hear me?
Hami. Yes, I can hear you. Who's this? Hami is speaking, or who is speaking?
Okay, ma'am. My name is Riona, and I'm
Okay.
from ninth. I'm from ninth standard of Kokkallur school.
Okay.
And my question is: usually, I have a problem with the English grammar. I just studied this English grammar for more than 4 years, or like from my USS coaching class, but I never understand it. I don't know why, but if you have any opinions to improve my English grammar, because it's so difficult to study.
I am not a very grammar person. I believe in intuitively imbibing grammar into whatever I do. So what happens is, I think the more you speak the language, the more you start thinking in a language, and the more programs you see in English, and the more you read. I think these are the only ways for you to get familiar with the language. Because my teachers used to say, if you have to improve a language, if you want to learn a language, you have to think in that particular language. So when you start thinking in that particular language, you will be able to better get a grasp with grammar. Now if you're going to learn grammar like you learn the formulae in school, I don't think you will be able to master grammar. Grammar is something which has to be inbuilt in your spoken skills and your written skills. So the more you do it, the more familiar you will get, and the more familiar you get, the more you'll be better at it. That is that is the thing that I've practiced, and that is what I would like to tell you also.
Okay, ma'am, I have one more question.
Yes.
What is your local language in Goa to interact with others?
The local language of Goa is Konkani. It's Konkani.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
And interestingly, some parts of Kerala also Konkani is spoken. Yeah. I don't know whether have you heard of the place called Kasaragod?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kasaragod is very close to Goa. So in Goa, in Kasaragod, the Malayalam they speak is a mixture of Konkani and Malayalam. So the dialect is a little different. So it's spoken even there, So look, Konkani it's spoken in Mangalore also, which is in Karnataka. So there are different versions of the same language which are spoken in different states, because these Konkan people are there in many places. That's the whole thing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You're echoing, Hami. I think. Yeah, you're echoing.
My name is Hami Azaz.
Okay.
I study I study in GUPS Kokkallur in 6th standard. What motivates you to work hard?
What motivates me to work hard? I always think that there is no other way in life apart from working hard. Yeah, because I think whatever you feel like, whatever you do, I think you have to, you have to face it, and that's the whole thing. I mean, I see no other way rather than working hard and working consistently. Hami, are you there, or have we lost you? You're here?
Oh, yes.
Yes. You have any other question?
No. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Hami.
Ma'am, I am Adigesh, studying GPS Kokkallur 7th standard. What is your favorite book to read?
Oh my gosh, when somebody asks me what is my favorite book to read, I really don't know, because there are so many books I have read and so many books that I like. I don't have anything like a favorite book, but I generally these days I like reading non-fiction. More than storybooks, I like to read what is happening around the world and all that. So these are the things I like. What about you, Adikesh? What is your favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
Hello.
Hello.
Adikesh, where are you? Yes, Adikesh.
Autobiography.
Autobiography. Why do you like autobiography?
APJ Abdul Kalam.
Okay, Wings of Fire, is that? Is
Yeah.
that the book? Okay,
Yeah.
so what did you like about that book?
Ma'am, I am Dania NK from GUP School Uniglam.
Okay.
Ma'am, I would like to speak in English, and but I think I want to improve my English. Can you give a solution?
I think it's the same solution that I gave to Riona. I think if you have to speak a language, you will have to be speaking in that language with many people. You will have to read, and it's not just enough that you read. You will have to share what you read with others, and probably watch a lot of programs in English. And these are some of the ways with you can improve your language, but you have to keep going at it. Now, if you know your grammar very well, you know how to form a perfect sentence, but you don't use that. You don't use to write. If you're not using that to write, or if you're not using that to speak to anyone, then your knowledge of English just remains, in theory. So you have to keep practicing. That is the only way to learn English.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I like
Hello,
you,
ma'am. Hello,
You're
ma'am.
welcome.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, Srikanji.
Shrikant. Yes, okay.
How is the food of Goa? Is it tasty?
Yeah, Goan food is tasty. I mean, it's very, very similar to Kerala food. I mean, you have your rice, you have this, you have this fat rice, red rice, and then you have fish curry, then you have vegetables. I mean, a lot of seafood, very similar to food in Kerala. And like Kerala cuisine, even in Goa, they add a lot of coconut to almost everything because it's a coastal place. And if you come to Goa, you will feel that you are in Kerala in certain places, except the fact that there are a lot of beaches here. But otherwise, when you actually come to Goa, you see a lot of coconut trees, you see all these narrow roads with greenery on both sides, and small, you know, villages and all these things, it will remind you of Kerala. So that is, have you visited Goa anytime, Shrikant? No? So
No,
please do
ma'am.
come to Goa so that you can experience Goa for yourself.
Ma'am,
Thank
ma'am,
you.
do you have visit Kerala?
Pardon me, yes?
Ma'am, do you have visit Kerala?
Yes, I have visited Kerala many times, in fact.
Ma'am, do you like Kerala?
Yes, I do like Kerala. Kerala is very similar to Goa, but Kerala is bigger than Goa. Yeah, it's very similar. I like Kerala.
Ma'am,
Teacher, what is the feeling
ma'am,
by visiting
I'm
Kerala?
Srinanda.
I think two of you are speaking together. One of you, please speak. Aditya,
Ma'am,
Danya, two of you are speaking together. Yeah.
ma'am, I'm Srinanda Manoj Kumar of 9th K
Okay.
in GHSS Kokkallur. Can I ask you a question?
Of course, yes.
What you really makes angry?
I didn't hear you very well, Srinanda. What was that question?
What's really make you angry?
What makes me angry? Oh gosh, many things make me angry. Uh, Sometimes when certain things are not done properly, I get angry. When students don't answer my questions directly, I get angry because sometimes when I ask them, why are you late? Students tell me, I'm late. I'm like, but why are you late? I am late, ma'am. I'm late, miss. So when they keep saying the same thing over and over, I get a little angry. Then I get angry when people honk on the roads. I get angry when I cannot do certain things on time. So there are like that many things. I mean, I get angry pretty often.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Nia Pervin from class 8I, Kokkallur.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my question is this. I'm very keenly interested to know about the education system of your state. And can you explain that?
The education system of my state is not very different from the education system anywhere in certain other places. It's very similar uh, to the education system in any other state. But I would say that in terms of education, Goa has to go a long way ahead because it's still, it's still in a very in a stage which I think, for example, states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu would have been there like 10, 15 years ago. So it has to grow a lot in terms of education because only now in the last 10 years or so importance is given to the education sector. Otherwise people were taking it very lightly, and now people are getting more ambitious, and they are trying to introduce new courses and things like that. Since it's a very small place, they're very, I mean, every school interacts with the other school, so that kind of a familiarity is there.
Okay, ma'am. Do you have any tips to improve our English language?
uh, the same tip I'm giving to everybody else, that is practice and practice and practice. You will have to, I mean, that is why this program is so unique, out of syllabus, because if you're sitting in the classroom and you're just answering questions from the textbook and writing exams and passing them, what actually happens is you don't get any you don't get a chance to interact and find out whether you're actually speaking the language well. So I think programs like this help you a great deal. But it should not stop with this. You should also speak to your classmates, I mean, everyone in English, because that's the only way you can improve the language. Otherwise, if you just know, subject, noun, verb, predicate, object, if you know all these things, but you don't know how to speak the language, then no one will even believe that you know the language. Because I think in many places, this is what is the problem. Students kind of, they know when they write it grammatically right. They write grammatically correct sentences, but actually when they speak, they are unable to do so because they are not practicing what they are actually learning. I think that is the problem we have. And you will have to keep speaking. I mean, you have to speak to everyone, many of them whom you see. You have to utilize opportunities like this. Maybe you can take some YouTube tutorials, and there are, there are many people. Maybe you could there are programs where you could sign up for speaking with a native speaker, that is a person from the UK or somewhere. You can actually find out, there are many websites which tell you that you can sign up for them, and every day, maybe for an hour, talk to that person in English. And since you're talking to a person whose first language is English, I think it will help you better to improve and also find out what is your level in the language. So these are the only things. It's not very easy. I mean, when I say practice, practice, I understand, because when you're sitting with your friends, what happens is you start talking in Malayalam, or you start talking in whatever language you're comfortable with. Because English means, what you have to do is, in your mind, you have to translate from Malayalam to English and then speak. So it's a lot of work. So that is why many of the students, what they do is they just start talking in Malayalam or any other language. But then what happens is, when you do that, you don't have a connection with the language. So I think you have to keep speaking more and more. That's the only way you can improve the language.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I will practice English as
Hello,
per
ma'am.
your advice.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. It's
Yes.
me, Riona, again. I have a
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
In Kerala, the study we don't need expense, a very big expense to study in a good quality school, because we have government schools everywhere, and it is with great facilities. So what about Goa? Is it expensive? Is it very expensive to study in Goa, or like Kerala?
No, it's like Kerala only. I mean, it's the same thing. Education is not very expensive in Goa. It's the same thing as the other states, and government schools are very well equipped, and they kind of cater to the needs of the students. That's the whole thing. It's the same.
Okay, thank you, miss.
Okay. That's all. Anyone else?
How is the traffic in Goa?
Traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is not much of a traffic. In the peak hours, you have traffic, maybe in the morning till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. After that, it's like, the roads, you can actually see the roads when you drive and everything. It's not very crowded. Maybe some places are, but the entire Goa, if you see the population, we have population, but still not very crowded. That's the whole thing. Not like Kerala anyway. Kerala is very big compared to Goa. Goa is very small.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
What will you do when you're free?
That's a nice question, because being a teacher, I think you're never free. You always have something or the other to do, especially when you teach college students. Even when you come home, you have a lot of other work to do, administrative office work. So all those things are there. Apart from that, you have work at home, cooking, taking care of the house, and I have a dog, so taking care of the dog, and generally keeping things clean. Doing this, doing that. Of course, if I have some time, I would like to write, and I read also. So, and I watch a lot of films and series on Netflix and Amazon. Yeah, so these are things, but it's not that I'm free and I'm doing all these things. Even when I have work, I take time to do all these things. So it's like really not a free time.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
recently
Ma'am, what's
you
your
said
hobby?
that you have a dog.
Yeah.
So what is his name?
His name is Feni, Feni, Feni.
So is he cute?
Yeah, he's very cute. Let me see whether I can get a picture of Fanny for you. 1 second. Let me just see whether I can actually share my screen and show you Fanny's pictures. Just hold on.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
hello, ma'am.
Just
I am Alaga. study in 7th standard. UP,
Alkananda, can I
Kinalo.
just
My
one
question-
second? Can I just show you
Okay.
Fanny's pictures? 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Can you see Fanny?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my Fanny. This he's very small, but he's big now. So yeah, so he's. I don't have any recent picture of his on my laptop. So this is the only picture, but he's white and he's very cute, and we like him very much. He's
Ma'am, what's
sleeping
your
now.
hobby?
My hobby. I think my hobby is I like English language. So I like to read a lot and finding new words. If I get some new words which I have not come across, I have a small notebook. I write them down and I try to use them in my when I talk to somebody or when I write. And I watch a lot of films and TV series. Uh, and the students generally talk to me about a lot of things, so I like to listen to them. So these are some of the things which I do. Where is Alkananda? Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I am Alagananda, studying in
Okay.
7th standard UP Kokkallur school.
Okay.
My question is, this time all children are in online class. What is your opinion about the online class?
Online classes. I mean, you want the answer from the perspective of a teacher or from the perspective of a student?
Teacher.
Teacher, okay. I don't much enjoy online classes because I miss seeing my students. I used to like interacting with my students face to face. I can't see their face. When we teach, we are not allowed to switch on our videos because our students' bandwidth, it increases. So we don't want that to happen. So mostly we don't see their faces. We just assume they're all there. And since I can't see them, it becomes very difficult for me because I think that I'm just talking to a screen. So that is a problem. But then another thing is, it's easier for some students uh, who don't who are not very active in the class, introverts who like to keep quiet. For them, online classes are very useful. And I think overall we cannot escape online classes. We have to get used to them. So because we don't know how long this is going to be. So we have got used to it, but still, if you ask me, I like face-to-face classes and I like to see my students as I teach them. So it's very difficult for me, but still I'm managing. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Nair.
Thank you.
There are two of you talking. Yes, tell me.
Which is your favorite game?
What was the question, please?
Which is your favorite game?
Favorite what?
Game. Favorite game.
Game. Okay. To watch or to play?
To play.
To play, I used to play badminton long ago when I was probably your age and a little after that. But now I don't play any games except for playing games with my students, and those are mostly mind games. Yeah, so there are no games which I play. So it's nothing like. But I like to watch cricket. I like to watch football, but I don't get much time to do them, so I don't watch them. So as of now, there is no game that I play. Yeah.
Ma'am, it's me, Nia Pavin again.
Okay.
And my question is this. Goa is the smallest state in our country. And I am interested to know what is the current situation about pollution in your state and what are the rules against pollution?
Oh my God, that's a very serious question. Even though it's a small state and you don't see a lot of pollution, there is a lot of pollution because we have a lot of coal factories, there's a lot of mining going on. So all these things add to the pollution of the state. I mean, the place where I live is actually, they say it's a landmine, because there are a lot of things around here. We have the refinery, we have the coal factory, and we have we have a Zuari factory, which is your Zuari cement, you would have heard. So that cement factory is close by here. So the fumes which come out of that factory are very dangerous. And the government, see, since it's a small state, we have to rely on all these things for our income. So they are also are factors of economic progress. So what can be done about that? The government is trying to do a lot of things, and the people are also trying to protest against certain aspects of it. So this is the current scenario of Goa. You should also know that Goa is one of the highest, it has the highest income the per capita income is the highest in Goa compared to any other states. And most of our income comes from tourism. And that is why during these COVID times, it's becoming very difficult for our state to manage, but still somehow we are managing. And since a lot of tourists are coming, we have a lot of pollution on the beaches, on roads. And that also, I mean, the government is trying its best to do a lot of things, but people are not very responsible about that. So yes, we do have a lot of pollution, but maybe uh, it's smaller. Many things are done quickly and you don't much see the things. But since we are here for a long time, we could actually see this.
Yes, ma'am. You just told that you visited Kerala. So is
Yeah.
the current situation is suitable for Kerala also?
Current situation in the sense pollution, you mean?
Yes. Is it suitable for Kerala too?
Uh, you mean, I didn't get you. Suitable for Kerala in the sense pollution? What are you talking about?
Is
Is it
that
the
the
same
same
question?
situation in Kerala like Goa? You say his.
I don't know. I have not lived in Kerala for a longer time,
But
so I have just seen Kerala. But I think the cities are polluted. Kochi and Tiruvalla and all these places are pretty polluted, because I see a lot of, I mean, garbage on the roads and all those things. But I am not very sure about the other factors of pollution in Kerala. I'm not so
so
much
which is
aware.
better?
Uh, don't ask me that question. I don't like comparing. I don't like comparing, because every place has its own charm. It has its own problems. It's like asking whether the right hand is better or the left hand is better. I think every place has its own management and own systems in place. And I think I can't say which is better. I'm not in a position to say that.
I think you are right.
Miss, who is your role model?
Yeah.
Who is
What?
your role model?
My role model? Oh gosh. I don't have any role models, Adityan. I think as you grow older in life, I think you learn from your own experience, because you know that if you look up to someone, they might actually let you down, or maybe they don't have all the answers. So I think you get your understanding in life as you travel through life. You learn from the situations and the circumstances. I think at some point you learn from everyone. I learn a lot from my students, I learn a lot from my colleagues, I learn a lot from the people I meet in the market. So I think everybody has something to teach you in life. So I don't look up to like one person as a role model and follow them, because you never know, tomorrow they might fail you. Do you have a role model, Aditya?
Miss, yes, I don't have.
What?
Yes, I don't have.
Okay.
And what about your favorite actor or actress? Who's your favorite
Oh my
actor?
God. When you ask me whether you have any favorite actor or actress, it's the same like, books. There are so many. I mean, I enjoy watching films of different people, you know. So nothing like favorite. Who's your favorite, Shrikant, if I may ask?
My favorite is Mohanlal
Lalitan. Okay. That's nice. Why do you like him?
because he's
Ma'am,
cool
what's the biggest fear?
in movies.
Wait, let me finish with Shrikant.
Ma'am,
Yes.
who is your favorite actress?
I think it's the same answer as I gave to Shrikant. There's nothing like a favorite actor or an actress. I think, when you're small, when you're young, you have all that. As you keep growing older, you like watching different films of everyone. You can watch Mohan Lal, you can watch Fahad Fasil, you can watch Dulkar, you can watch, anyone for that matter.
You're familiar with our actor and actors in Kerala.
Of course, yes. I mean, I think in the lockdown time, all of us have, started watching so many Malayalam films because it's doing very good in Amazon Prime and Netflix. So I think the whole of India is familiar with the Kerala film industry now.
Oh, really? It's very
Yes.
interesting to hear that.
Yeah, because see, everybody is at home, and the only platforms they can actually watch films is Amazon Prime, and they can watch. I mean, if a certain section of society, I mean, not everybody, and Netflix, and many of these films were released. A lot of wonderful Malayalam films. So India is actually waking up to the fact that very good films are being produced in Kerala, and now I think Fahad Fasil is a national name. Everybody knows Fahad Fasil. Maybe they don't know Mohanlal. Of course, with Drishyam, they know Mohanlal also. But Fahad Fasil is the one who is, everybody is like, wow, Fahad Fasil. And they're waiting for his films to come out. And he's making so many films, especially during the lockdown, films like See You Soon and Malik and all those things are like everybody's seen them. So that's the thing.
Hello, ma'am. It's Riona again. Can I ask
Yes.
one more question?
Yes.
Is it was your dream to be a English professor, or you just started this job because of your life situation?
Okay. In 8th standard, I wanted to be a teacher. And if I became a teacher, I knew I would want to teach only English. Because English was supposedly my favorite subject in school. And then in 8th standard, okay, yes, I thought, okay, I'll become a teacher. And then after I went to 9th and 10th and 11th, that slowly went away. But it was always there in my mind. But after that, what happened was after I finished my 12th, when it came to deciding what I should choose for my a BA, whether it's going to be a BA or MA or whatever, what is it? So again and again, my thought was towards BA English Literature. And of course, I did apply for physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, but my mind was not there in that. And then only in one college I applied for BA English Literature, and I got the seat there. And I just started studying BA, and I felt that was the place I want to be. That is what I would like to do. And slowly, as I studied BA, I got fascinated by the various aspects of English and English literature. But after that, again, I had a doubt. I didn't know whether I should continue with English. So after my BA, I gave a gap. I was working somewhere, and then I decided I don't think this is for me. I think I should pursue my studies. Then after that, I did my MA, then my MPhil and my PhD, and then automatically, teaching is the thing. So like that, I became a teacher.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hi, hi, ma'am.
Now who's saying hi? There are so many people.
I think Balan is trying to say something. Balan's mic is mute.
Who is saying, who's speaking to me? I'm seeing so many people switch on their mics now. Yes. Yes.
I am Shabba Fatima,
Okay.
7th standard. I have a question.
Acha.
Why do you want
Okay.
to be a teacher?
Why do I want to be a teacher? Okay, let me tell you. Teacher, there are many things which are fascinating about being a teacher. One very fascinating thing is you stand in the front and everybody looks at you and you are standing there and performing, and there are like 60 students just sitting there waiting for you to talk. It's almost like a stage, right? So these days, I mean, those days before the lockdown, that was a great fascination for me. So many students pay their fees and they sit there, and you have the ability to talk to them and share whatever you know. And that is the most amazing thing. And the other thing is, you are in touch with so many curious minds, with so many ideas, and they are all very enthusiastic. Not everyone is. At least 10% of the class is enthusiastic. They ask you questions, they try to interact with you, and they listen to you. Now, where else would you get people to listen to you like this, that to a live audience? That is the best thing about being a teacher. And being a teacher is half of it is performance. You stand there and you just deliver your dialogues and you just talk and talk. I like to talk. So that's why being a teacher is something which I enjoy doing. And that to an English teacher, you can include so many things. Now, if you're a maths teacher, you have only your formulae and your numbers. But if you are an English teacher, you can bring in so many things to the class. You can cite examples from films, you can take examples from novels, you can take examples from what you saw in the market yesterday, and everything becomes something as of an example. So I think that's the best part of being an English teacher, not any other teacher, but an English teacher. So did I answer your question?
Hi, teacher. Hi, ma'am.
Yes, who is this?
I'm Leah Fatima.
Okay. Somebody else has switched on the mic.
Study in 6th standard.
Okay.
GUP School, Kokkallur.
Mm-hmm.
How is your hero?
What? Come again. Ask
How
the question.
is your
How what? I can't get your question.
You might be asking who is your hero?
Who is my hero? My gosh.
Yes.
I don't have a hero for myself. I don't have anyone like that.
Ma'am, I am Saya. I am studying GUPS Kokkallur 7th standard. My question is, what is your weather of Goa?
Oh, the weather of Goa is very similar to your weather. It's a tropical climate. It's very hot. And during the monsoon, which is from June to August, it rains and rains and rains and rains. It's very dark. The weather is very similar to Kerala's weather. I think many coastal places have a very similar kind of a climate. So Goa is very similar to Kerala.
Okay. Hi, I'm Navneet. Hi.
Okay, students.
Hi, I'm Navneet.
Hello. We have 3 more minutes, 1 more question. And by 4 o'clock exactly, we'll wind up the session.
Hi.
1 more question. Madam will be with us after 2 months. The time you can ask more questions. You can have some more questions. Get ready with the questions. Madam will be with us after 2 months.
Yeah. It would be nice if the same set of students come back.
Of course, they'll be with you. And now 1 more person can ask question. Because then I'll release Madam because she has got some other pre-committed jobs. Otherwise, she'll go on speaking and you'll also go on asking questions. Okay. Okay, 1 more person can ask question.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Navneet. How you learn English? GUPS Kokkallur.
There are 2 or 3 people speaking here.
What is your concept about Kerala students?
What is my concept about Kerala students? I don't know much about Kerala students, but I do know that Kerala students are very intelligent because they are very focused and they are very quick learners. That is what I have seen. We have some students here from Kerala and they are very proactive, very ambitious. That's what is my opinion.
Now over to Riona. Riona, let us wind up the session and for felicitation, who is supposed to do the felicitation? Offer
Okay,
felicitation.
okay, sir. Thank you, madam, for the wonderful job. Okay, ma'am. Now it's time to offer felicitation to the function. Shraddha Shirin of 8A.
Good evening to all. Delightfully put, the English Club of Government Higher Secondary School Kokkallur owes greatly to Professor Dr. Premanand Edward, a popular teacher of English in the Department of English Language and Literature at St. Joseph College, Devagiri, Kozhikode. Dr. A. Susan Deborah, our chief guest, who is an assistant professor in the Department of English, MES College of Arts and Commerce, Zuari Nagar, Goa, for making this initiation a memorable one with their presence and inspiring words. Hence, I offer felicitation to all the chief invitees of the day, Team English and your friends, for this cordial get sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Shraddha Shirin. As the function comes to an end, I request Adityan CH of 8H to propose vote of thanks.
As a token of gratitude for the great attitude of all honorable guests towards the enhancement of English skill in the student community, I happily propose vote of thanks to respected Dr. Premanand M.E., a professor of English language and literature at St. Joseph College, Devagiri. Dr. Susan Deborah, who interact with the students of our English club, and the Team English GHSS Kokkallur and the club members for making this initiative a big success. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adityan.
Sir, your mic is off. Sir, your mic is off.
Sir,
You're muted.
hello, sir.
Your mic is off.
So, Mike, so please unmute your mic.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, madam.
Yes, sir.
And it was a wonderful session, of course. First of all, Premanand sir, who has always been with us for all the program. This is the third time I think he associates with us. And this time also, when I just made a mention of, I do think, madam, when I made a mention of your name, he kept smiling that as though he knew you, but he didn't make a mention of that you knew. Because somewhere he told me that the name is familiar with me and all. And he hosted the session, and it's when you made a mention that you met him at the Calicut University while you were doing your research. And such a gentleman, anytime, round the clock, he is fresh and ready to interact without any tiredness, without making any long face to anything. That is the greatness that I've seen in Premanand sir. We used to be together. Our friendship started there from Trivandrum when we had been together for a SAP, Additional Skill Acquisition Program, Syllabus preparation. And that friendship still continues. And of course, and I was very much attracted by the way of speaking and the word. One idea we have common in sharing, madam. Whenever I get a new word, I'll also note down and make use of it. Otherwise, many people have got a lot of vocabulary in terms of found nuts and bolts on the road, and they'll be keeping in a basket and they'll go rust it if they are not properly used. We must make use of. Otherwise, these are nuts and bolts. We do not know which machine do they belong to. As long as we do not know which machine these parts, spare parts belong to, we cannot make or produce music. Anyway, that was a wonderful idea that you passed with the student. That's one thing. Anyway, the session was live. It was students also didn't feel tired at all, and they feel like they have the inertia to go ahead. But and it should be stopped when it is, that is a keep the stop when it is going good. Then only they'll feel like having you once again with, and you also will feel that okay, I can have. But it shouldn't go tired after doing certain things. Anyway, it was a nice session.
Thank you.
This is the plus point of interaction without any module. If I had given you some topic you prepared, you must have browsed and brought it. The same idea students also will get. When you look up look at the sky, you will see the sun. I'll also say that everybody can see the sun. There is nothing new. But this was quite unexpected question. You even didn't think of certain questions, so you could come up to their expectation and address those things. It was a very nice session. And all my students who gave a very good audience, an inquisitive audience, and madam who very pleasantly addressed a question, Premanand sir who operated the session, everyone who worked to make this function a successful and memorable one. As a coordinator of out of syllabus, my idea is that syllabus for life, syllabus for examination, out of syllabus for life. They learn from textbooks to write the examination, but in life examination, they are a failure if they don't have a language to communicate with. A person with all his capacities and expertise, without having a communication, a language for communication, is just like a owner of a new car without knowing the driving. It will just be parked in the port to show others for their envy. Instead of that, he must be able to drive. That the driving license is language. And thank you, madam, once again for being with us, for being very kind to the students in attempting and in addressing their doubts and queries. Have a great time.
Thanks for inviting me, sir.
Thank you. Nice.
Thank you, Susan, ma'am.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will
Bye.
see you all some other time. Bye. Bye.
Say a big
Bye,
hi to
ma'am.
madam.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, now can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sir, can I leave?
Yes. Now, students, you can leave. We'll end the
Okay, sir. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, sir, for
Thank you.
creating such
Thank you for giving
See you
this
again.
opportunity.
We'll have the program on the next 5th. Next 5th, we have another friend from Madhya Pradesh, a blogger. Okay, one of the major blogger in India. We'll have the session with her. Okay, next 5th, August 5th. Be ready. Right.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Fine.